What's up, YouTube? Today we're concluding the trilogy with part 3 of Obscure Horror on the 3DS. First on the list, we have Little Red Riding Hood's Zombie Barbecue. Let's check it out. Little Red Zombie Barbecue is an action rail shooter, originally released for the DS. We all know the story of Little Red Riding Hood, but very few know the story that followed afterwards. After saving Red's grandmother from the clutches of the Big Bad Wolf, everything in Storyland returned to normal. But nothing could be further from the truth. Recently, the noble woodcutter had died. Then, to make matters worse, the undead began to rise from their graves and cause mayhem. Now, it's up to Little Red Riding Hood and her partner, Momotaro, to rid the zombies from Storyland and save the population. Welcome to Little Red Riding Hood's Zombie Barbecue. As the game scrolls from top to bottom, you can move the D-pad left or right to move your character. You simply touch the screen where you want to fire your weapon and tap twice to reload. You have the choice to play as Red Riding Hood, who specializes in guns, or Momotaro, who specializes in swords and ninja stars. This is an excellent, super fun game that I highly recommend. A loose copy of this will set you back at least $85, and a CIB version goes for around $250. Pick it up on the eShop for just $7.99. Okay, the next game on our list draws heavily from Castlevania. Soul of Darkness is a 2D platformer, currently available only on the 3DS. If you've ever played any Castlevania games, you'll feel right at home here. But this isn't just another simple Castlevania clone. It's actually a really fun game. The controls are as smooth as butter, the graphics are beautiful, but most importantly, it's fun. A lot of fun. As you progress through the game, you will gain new upgrades and abilities. You will also have the chances to level up and customize your weapons. The game does a good job of keeping things challenging without making the overall experience too frustrating. Pick up Soul of Darkness on the eShop for just $4.99.
Isaac and his mother lived alone in a small house on a hill. Isaac kept to himself, drawing pictures and playing with his toys as his mom watched Christian broadcasts on the television. Life was simple, and they were both happy. That was until the day Isaac's mom heard a voice from above. "Your son has become corrupted by sin. He needs to be saved." "I will do my best to save him, my lord," Isaac's mother replied, rushing into Isaac's room, removing all that was evil from his life. Again, the voice called to her. "Isaac's soul is still corrupt. He needs to be cut off from all that is evil in this world and confess his Isaac's mom heard the voice of God calling to her. You've done as I've asked, but I still question your devotion to me. To prove your faith, I will ask one more thing of you. Yes, Lord, anything, Isaac's mother begged. To prove your love and devotion, I require a sacrifice. Your son, Isaac, will be this sacrifice. Go into his room and end his life as an offering to me to prove you love me above all else. Yes, Lord, she replied, grabbing a butcher's knife from the kitchen. Isaac, watching through a crack in his door, trembled in fear. Scrambling around his room to find a hiding place, he noticed a trapdoor to the basement, hidden under his rug. Without hesitation, he flung open the hatch, just as his mother burst through his door and threw himself down into the unknown depths below.
Wow, what an intro. What can I say about The Binding of Isaac? It's weird, it's nuts, and it's straight up dark. But you know what? It's a lot of fun to play. Let's check it out. When Isaac's mother starts hearing the voice of God, she first strips Isaac of all of his belongings. Then, when Isaac's mother decides to sacrifice him, Isaac escapes into the basement, where he must battle deranged monsters, lost brothers and sisters, and eventually, his own mother. The Binding of Isaac is a top-down 2D dungeon crawler. Whenever you die, it's back to the very beginning. But thanks to the randomly generated levels, no two playthroughs are exactly the same. As you can see, Isaac defends himself by throwing his own tears. As you progress through the dungeons, you will gain not only new abilities, but new upgrades as well. Now this is one game that I would highly recommend. The Binding of Isaac has plenty of character and is a hoot to play. It's not cheap though. Pick it up on the eShop for $19.99. Up next, we're checking out Gargoyle Quest II, The Demon Darkness. This is an NES classic released back in 1992. It's a prequel to the first Gargoyle Quest released on the Game Boy. Our old friend Firebrand the Demon is back. Let's have a look. A strange dark light has appeared in the demon realm, causing different monsters and demons, including the king, to die. Firebrand sets off on a quest to find the source of this dark light and then put a stop to it. Now this is a fun game, but it's nothing too special. Although the cost of a loose copy, if you want an actual cartridge, is upwards of $120. So if you're a fan of the Ghosts and Goblins franchise, and you're interested in it, you're better off picking it up on the 3DS for just $4.99 on the eShop. Welcome to Zombie Panic in Wonderland DX. This is a third-person shooter, originally released for the Wii back in 2007. But the 3DS and Switch have an upgraded version with different gameplay, smarter enemy AI, and improved graphics. The story takes place in the same universe as Little Red Riding Hood's Zombie Barbecue. You play as our old friend Momotaro. He has returned to his hometown in Storyland, only to find it deserted and full of zombies. It turns out that Prince Charming has accidentally created a perfume that turns anyone who smells it into mindless zombies. Characters such as Snow White, Alice, Dorothy, and even Red Riding Hood all make appearances in this outstanding fairy tale classic. This game wastes no time getting into the action. It's definitely sink or float, but it's actually quite easy to figure out. Wherever you want to shoot, you just touch the lower screen. The upgraded 3DS version is available on multiple platforms. You can pick it up on the eShop for just $8. Up next, we're checking out a platformer throwback. Welcome to Zombie Incident. This game was originally programmed for the 2011 MSX Dev Contest. As the name suggests, Zombie Incident was developed on the MSX, a popular retro system in Japan famous for being the home of the first Metal Gear. Zombie Incident won the Dev Contest and was eventually ported to the 3DS. You play as Nana, a pixelized sprite version of the dishy anime girl seen on the screen here. As Nana, you must explore all 64 rooms of the tower and find the 8 golden stars that will lift the curse placed on the castle. Like many classic platformers, the gameplay is extremely simple. It's a must-play for fans of retro systems. Pick it up on the eShop for the low price of just $1.99. Okay, before we have a look at the last 3 games on our list, here are some more worthwhile mentions. Let's have a look. Okay, the next game on our list is part of arguably the biggest horror franchise around. Get ready for Resident Evil, The Mercenaries 3D. Let's have a look. Welcome to The Mercenaries. Fans of Resident Evil 4 and 5 will definitely remember the awesome minigames available for both these titles. The Mercenaries 3D is a combination of both these minigames, released as a full game, only available on the 3DS. Now I'll be honest, I'm a huge fan of this game. The graphics are great, and the controls are surprisingly smooth considering it's being played on a handheld DS. But many people weren't a fan. Although the game looked great, many were disappointed that there was no story. But what Mercenaries lacks in story, it makes up for in great action-packed missions. If you were a fan of the Mercenaries games back in Resident Evil 4 and R5, then this might be the game for you. But don't expect any kind of a story, because there isn't one. Now this game is still available for a pretty fair price if you want a physical copy, CIB. But this game is only released on the 3DS. That's the only platform, which means it will probably skyrocket in price once the eShop closes. Pick up the Mercenaries 3D on the eShop for the fair price of $19.99. The second last game on our list is quintessential for fans of spooky games. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon is a 3DS exclusive and is the sequel to the 2001 GameCube game of the same name. In Dark Moon, you of course play as Luigi. You are equipped with the Poltergeist 5000, a specialized vacuum cleaner used to capture ghosts. As Luigi, you must retrieve the broken shards of the Dark Moon, which was destroyed by the sinister King Boo. As you explore Evershade Valley, Luigi will need to investigate 5 different mansions while capturing ghosts and solving different puzzles. Dark Moon also features a multiplayer mode, where players must explore different floors of a mansion and complete different missions. Dark Moon is a must-play for Mario fans, and is just scary enough to appeal to horror fans like myself. A complete in-box version of Dark Moon is currently very affordable, but the prices may rise in the future. Pick it up on the eShop for $29.99. The very last game on our list is a 3DS masterpiece.
Chris, you better look at this.
Welcome to Resident Evil Revelations.
O'Brien, you're not gonna like this. We found the Veltro crest.
What?
Now, I know that RE Revelations isn't exactly obscure horror, but come on, you can't make a list of horror games on the 3DS and not mention arguably the best horror game available. Revelations is available on many other platforms, but it was originally released on the 3DS, and it was built from the ground up to take advantage of all the 3DS features. The 3D visuals are amazing, and the touchscreen makes solving puzzles and changing weapons extremely user-friendly. The first half of the game, you play as fan favorite Jill Valentine, as you and your partner, Parker Luciani, search for Chris Redfield, or board an abandoned cruise ship.
Hey, G.
Incredible.
The Queens and all, yeah.
In the second half of the game, you play as Chris Redfield, as you and your partner, Jessica Sherwat, trek through the mountains as you attempt to uncover information about the terrorist group called Veltro.
Just doesn't add up. We rise from the dead.
The controls in Revelations have been improved significantly compared to the clunky ones in Mercenaries.
It's been abandoned for a while.
One of the biggest improvements in controls for Revelations over Mercenaries is the use of the touchpad for both aiming and navigating the screen. This makes for a much easier experience.
Now what?
Give me a sec.
Revelations is a great game. Whether you play it on the 3DS or a different system, it's definitely a must-play if you're a fan of survival horror.
No, Chris.
Where are you, Chris?
RE Revelations promises an authentic Resident Evil experience. Pick it up on the eShop for $19.99. Well guys, that's the end of the video. That concludes our list of obscure horror on the 3DS. Thanks for watching, I really appreciate it. Now, the eShop closes next year, March of 2023, but this year, August 29th, we will lose the ability to add funds using gift cards. Now, you will still be able to add funds if you have a Nintendo Switch linked to the same account, but if you do not own a Switch like myself, you're out of luck. So anything that you see that you liked, I'd pick it up soon. Anyway, again, thanks for watching. I will see you on the next one.